Hey everyone, I hope you all are safe and doing good. So, in this lecture, now we'll see what is generative AI. See, as the name suggests, there are two words here. One is generative and one is AI, right? One is this plus AI. You know what is AI? We have discussed, you know what is machine learning, what is deep learning, and a little bit history of AI as well, right? The AI term came into picture first time in 1956 in that conference, right? As a officially as a field of study, then adopted, right? Now, generative plus AI, and AI that can generate as well. Generate what? Generate text, image, code, audio, video, painting, art, anything it can generate. Like ChatGPT. When you ask something to ChatGPT, you will get the answer. So it is generating new text for you. It's not that it is like this thing is written in any file and it is just fetching from that file the answer. No, it is generating the new text for you based on your question, based on the context of that question, because this model has been trained on a huge data set, right? Same in image we can generate like from any DALI or mid journey. These kind of models are there, so we can just simply give a simple prompt, create an image of a cat on moon, sitting on moon, and you will get a image. So this is image generation. Simply code. Even if you just ask to ChatGPT, write a code for this program, you will get the code. In any specific language, also, it will give you the code. Or GitHub Copilot is also there, a GitHub extension that is also helping you to generate in code, right? So it is generative AI, means generating new content, whether it's image, whether it's text, whether it's audio, video, or anything, it can generate for you. Okay. But now we are in the era of generative AI. But what is now traditional AI? AI is in the picture since 1956. First time in 1956, the word AI came into picture, as we have seen in the history of AI in that conference. And after that, adopted as a official field of study, AI. So at that time that time comes under traditional AI systems, traditional AI, not modern AI. Now, what is traditional AI? See, during that traditional time, that AI, those AI systems was rule based system. Means a human have written some rules, hard coded rules, like if X, then Y, something like this. Or if I say like if a customer buy X, then suggest Y to that customer. So humans have hard coded these rules to build those AI systems, AI models. Now, suppose if customer buy Z, not X, then suggest what? If this rule is not defined there, then those AI systems are not able to deal with these new situations, because they were rule based, they were hard coded, simply programmed by humans. Okay, they are not able to learn from the data. There was no machine learning concept at that time. Machine learning concept came into picture in 90s. Before that, there was no such kind of concept. So these were traditional AI system, like we have discussed mice in this system for diagnosis of a disease in medical. Chess computers also, early chatbot, Eliza. Okay, but that was also not a successful experiment. But all these things comes under traditional AI. So traditional AI follows pre-programmed rules. It use if then else statements, right? If then else statements and explicit logic to make decisions, to decide something. Okay. So they were like not so much flexible, can only handle the scenarios their creators anticipated. Like I told you, na, if I have coded that if customer buy X, suggest Y. I mean, customer buy X product, suggest Y product. Any name you can give. But if customer buy Z product, then what? So that is a new situation. So they struggle with novel situations. So that was basically limitations of traditional AI systems. And these are few examples of traditional AI system. Now in 1990s, machine learning concept came into picture. Like machine can learn itself with the help of data. It's not like that you have to And to change these systems explicitly, they need human intervention. Means human have to hard code new rules, new logic to update these systems. Okay, so that was basically limitations of this. After that, modern AI era came after the concept of machine learning, right, in 1990s, after 1990s. So machine can learn means this is modern AI in which machine can learn from data. You train the machine or the AI model on a huge set of data. Then machine learn from that, recognize patterns from the data, and it improves through the experience rather than explicit programming. No need to program explicitly for every task, because see, human also, we also learn with experience. As we exposed with much data, or like much with socially or like this, then we learn things more and more. So that's why if machines are exposed to much data, if we train them on much data, huge data, then definitely they give like accurate result. So their performance improve like this. So machine also learn from data by recognizing patterns. So this approach helps machine handle complexity and uncertainty better than rule based system. If a new situation came, then machine can easily handle that situation, because machine at that time was able to learn in modern AI era. Okay. It includes technique like machine learning, deep learning, and generative AI also now a part of modern AI. So that era was of modern AI. Like we can say this are a few example or real world applications of this recommendation system. Around 2000, all the like these Netflix, YouTube, Amazon, Facebook, they started using recommendation system. Okay. I mean, they started learning from user preferences and accordingly suggest the content. No need to hard code that if a user watch this movie, suggest this movie. No, based on your history, they will they learn your preferences and suggest the content accordingly. They learn. Okay, fraud detection system, voice assistant came into picture. The the assistant and Siri and all, traffic prediction, face recognition, self-driving cars, and email spam for filters. So these were some real world application of modern AI. Okay. Now after that, how modern AI system work basically? First phase is obviously training. So for training, huge data set was required. So they were fed it massive data set. From that data set for training, they learn the patterns, relationship, and structures from those data. And after that, like obviously this comes under learning. Behind the scene, what is happening? There are solid and complex algorithms which are working, neural networks, deep neural networks. They are working those kind of algorithm, adjust their parameters. Obviously, if you go in deep and behind the scene, there are so many parameters in those algorithms and all. So we'll not go in that much deep. But behind the scene, algorithms are working to process on that data, optimizing the data, enhancing the data, learning the patterns, and all. And they improve through the feedback and optimization techniques. Third thing is after that, prediction or generation. Now, generation is generative AI that comes in picture in around 2020. Before that, in modern AI, most of the AI system were used to predict. They focus more on prediction, classification of data into categories, or just computer vision. Like if I feed an image and I ask, what is this image? Whether it's a cat or a dog, so it is able to tell me that, okay, it's a dog or it's a cat. So they focus more on prediction. Prediction means like in medical system also, we feed the AI system a lots of images, maybe for a particular disease, to diagnose a particular disease, lots of images. Suppose healthy lungs image and unhealthy lungs image. So thousands and millions of images we feed, labeled as this image is healthy lungs and this is unhealthy lungs. So when we feed a new image and ask, okay, this is healthy or unhealthy. So based on that data, whatever the system has learned from the images, it can easily predict, okay, these are unhealthy lungs or these are healthy lungs, like this. in prediction. So they focus more on prediction. So trained model apply learned patterns and they can predict outcomes or classify outcomes or generate new content. Now this generate new content, this is generative AI. So this is part of modern AI. Generative AI is a part of modern AI. It not only focus on prediction or classification of data or just identifying which is image, which what image is this, or simply not just a translation kind of thing that understand human language or translate that to a different language. No, it can generate new data as well, right? So that is generative AI. I hope now you got the idea. Traditional AI, modern AI, and now modern AI. The generative AI is a part of modern AI. How modern AI is different from generative AI. Sorry, modern AI is different from traditional AI. In traditional AI systems, they were not able to learn, machine were not able to learn itself from data. They were hard coded. They were rule based. Logic, rules were there, hard coded by humans. But modern AI systems can learn from data. We train them on a huge set of data. Now, what is generative AI? If I ask, what is generative AI now? So, it is a part of modern AI that can generate data like images, text, audio, video, code, and much more. Okay. With just a simple prompt. That's it. Simple prompt you give and you will get your answer. So, content creation, generative AI creates original content. Original content. Okay. It produces text, images, music, and more than never existed before. And these systems can write stories, compose music, generate art, design products with human like creativity. They are so much creative. So they are creative as we human have creativity. So they are also creative. Interactive ability. Now, see, modern generative AI can do conversation with us and also in a contextual way. They are context aware. Like ChatGPT. If I ask to ChatGPT, okay, like who is Jayanti Khatri Lamba? So the answer will be given to me, like Jayanti Khatri Lamba and whatever, like instructor on Jenny's lectures and all. After that, if I ask, is she a good teacher or what is her age or something like this? So I don't need to tell that I'm asking about Jayanti Khatri Lamba. No. So ChatGPT is able to understand the context in which I am talking. I am talking about Jayanti Khatri. Even if I have written, is she a good teacher? He or the ChatGPT will understand. Okay, I'm talking about Jayanti Khatri, and I'll get the answer. Like we human interact with each other. So see the advancement in generative AI nowadays. Generative AI is now able to understand, those systems are able to understand the context as well. So they talk with us in a conversation, like in a context aware uh, environment. They uh, you know respond to us. So generative AI system use deep learning technique, or you can say deep neural networks, or especially transformers like GPT by OpenAI. Okay. Now, few examples of generative AI is simple. A computer or that model can write simple text. You can ask to ChatGPT with a simple prompt, and it will give you the story or essay, whatever you want. Or generate an image like a tool that Dali or Midjourney you can use. I just give a simple prompt. Just give me an AI image of Jenny, who is instructor at Jenny's lectures YouTube channel. That's it. A simple prompt, and like this kind of image is generated. So okay. Now music. This AI can also compose or generate music. Plus, they can write code as well. You can use GitHub, or there are few example of generative AI. Okay. Now, conventional AI versus generative AI. So, conventional AI system versus generative AI system. So, conventional AI basically focus more on prediction, classification of data, natural language processing, like language translation kind of thing, or identifying what this image is. On those, focus more on that. They were not able to generate new things. Okay. But generative AI systems are able to generate new things, new content, new images, data, code, anything they can generate. Okay. So they focus on this we have discussed and work with structured data. So they are supposed to trained on huge set of data, which is a structured data like labeled data. This image of a maybe it's a dog, it's not a dog, it's a cat, it's not a cat, or like this. They work on structured data, labeled data most of the cases. But generative AI system create new content like ChatGPT. Okay. Also generate novel outputs, balance creativity and coherence. They work in they are creative as well as whatever they generate that is making sense. They store the context. If I ask any question, so it will just give me the answer, and it will not divert from that topic. No, so it will maintain the coherence. Like they are intelligent. It handle unstructured data as well. No need to train on just labeled data, unlabeled data or unstructured data. Just feed, just train, uh, and it can also learn from that unstructured data as well. Generative AI systems. So to train generative AI systems or these models, we need huge data, much more than the data which is required to train these conventional AI system. Yes, it's true. Huge data is required because they also generate new data, new ideas. That's why more training data is required. They learn from experiences. They handle the new situations. Okay, how they are thinking, generative AI systems are thinking. I have faced such kind of maybe situation or something like this before. So this may be the answer. Maybe the answer. It will generate new thing, right? So if I draw a diagram, you know the diagram previously we have seen. What is this was AI and subset of AI. Machine learning is subset of AI. Now deep learning is subset of machine learning. And now here we have generative AI. This is subset of deep learning. Deep learning. It uses those deep neural networks. Okay, those multi-layer structure neural networks to learn as well as now. Plus one more thing is generate new content. So it is subset of deep learning, right? So this is basic introduction to generative AI. We'll see in deep what are ChatGPT and these things, how actually they work. What is LLM, transformer, and these things. But I hope now the basic idea you got what is generative AI. So you have to take care of these some key takeaways or some important points that very first thing is to train these machines. We need a massive amount of data, huge amount of data, and good amount of data. If you feed bad data or garbage data, obviously you will get bad results. But huge amount of data will be required. Seriously, like huge amount of data to train these generative AI systems. Okay, to increase the data or to no increase the task accuracy, right? It is simple common sense. If I feed only suppose if I feed only 10 images or 5 images of suppose cat, okay, to train the system, and if I give a sixth image with something different from this, obviously computers are not having their own brain, they are not so much smart. So maybe that AI model is not able to recognize this thing because we have trained on a small set of data. And suppose I have feed millions of images of a cat. After that, if I uh, ask, after feeding an image, if I ask, okay, it's a cat or not, so probability are more that we will get accurate answer. That's why the amount of data is very important to get the accuracy. Very first thing. Now, second thing is obviously to handle to process this amount of data, especially in training of these systems. They have to process huge amount of data to learn patterns from them, to recognize the structure and all. So processing such a large data set, whether it's for prediction or generating new content, it involves millions or sometimes billions of mathematical operations. So now you can imagine the computational power required. It's huge. So we need like GPUs, TPUs to handle to train these systems. And third thing is, now modern AI is now evolving to understand human language in a more natural way, conversational and context aware way. Like I have given you one example. ChatGPT understand our context, what we are trying to ask. If first I ask, suppose to ChatGPT, what is like maybe capital of Haryana, and after that, if I ask, how's the weather there? So ChatGPT understand me that I'm asking about the weather in where, the capital of Haryana, right? So ChatGPT will have to understand the context I'm talking about. So that's why we are shifting more towards conversational and contextual way. So modern AI is now that much intelligent that it can understand our context as well. With just simple prompts, it can generate whatever we want accordingly. So you need to these are simple like 3 points you need to remember, right? Now in the next lecture we will be discussing more about like ChatGPT, how ChatGPT works and all. That is all about the basics of the terms we are using. And more terms also will be using LLMs and all. Those also will be discussing one by one later. So now that's it for this lecture. Now I'll see you in the next lecture. Till then, bye bye. Take care.